Welcome to Test Shoot Etiquette. How do you find test shoots? So, first, you can go to your agency or rep. The majority of them do have a list of both free and paid test shoots. You will be paying for a test shoot at some point in your career, probably, especially if you cut your hair or color your hair or change anything drastically about your look. You will need photos immediately. And when you pay for photos through an agency, it is typically a trusted photographer that will get those photos back to you in about 2 weeks, maybe even less, and will get the shots that you need. So it is worth paying for those test shoots. It is completely legitimate, and your agency will have a range, maybe $100 to even all the way up to $1,000. Casting apps will also have test shoots listed, and some of them are even paying you for your time because the photographer is the one who suddenly needs the photos on a deadline. So they will pay to get a model to come in and do the test shoot rather than when it's convenient. Instagram DMs or any other social media that you find that photographer is active on, and referral from friends. Go ahead and ask your friends who they've shot with and who they've liked shooting with. If your friends do not want to share with you who they have shot with, they're probably not your friend. Research. You want to look for those photographers that have shot the style you need. If you're shooting commercial, they've got some commercial posted on their social or their websites because you are asking them to test, usually for free on their free time. So they want to get something out of it too. So you want to make sure it's the shot. And also you want to know that they know how to shoot it and they're comfortable shooting it and you're going to get good results. You want to check Google and ask friends about their reputation, how long it takes them to get those photos back. Some photographers are really bad at it. Some are really great at it. Engage and message with them on those social medias. It is a free way to show them support when you like and comment with their photos. And then message them something like, you have great editorial photos. I would love to shoot with you if ever you are looking to test. Here is a link to my portfolio. I have sent this exact message to photographers and gotten great photo shoots out of it. Some green and red flags to look out for. So the first 5 are all directly across from their opposites. So a green flag could be an online presence, having social media, having a website, and a red flag could be 0 online presence. Now, everything in the modeling industry is a case-by-case basis. So of course, there may be some exceptions of some old school photographers who just have no online presence. But the most of the time, if they have no website, we're not even talking about social media, but not even a website, that's probably not a good thing. Another green or red flag would be if they have the shoot style that you need. If it does not match, that's a red flag. If somebody who shoots mostly nude and boudoir photos then hits you up and says, I want to shoot with you, and you don't want to shoot that, that's kind of a red flag. So you don't want to shoot with them because they're going to probably want all nudity and boudoir photos. Also, if they easily provide details, that is a great sign. If they are avoiding your questions, acting like they didn't see them, or talking about other things when you ask a question, that's a red flag that they're probably trying to confuse you and avoid those questions. Clear communication is a green flag. Difficult communication. So it's not just avoiding your questions, but it's interrupting you, not letting you ask those questions, maybe never answering their Instagram DMs. If you have a shoot set up with a certain date and they're not replying to you before the date, that is a red flag. Another green flag is when they compliment your skills. They say you have great posing, you look amazing, you're gorgeous. But if they use words like, wow, you look really fucking hot in that photo. Oh, you look so fucking sexy in that photo. Oh, that photo makes me hard. Yes, I have heard all of these things from photographers at castings or through DMs. Those are red flags that those photographers are trying to hit on you. Unless you are interested in that, it is a red flag. There are some people who choose to take jobs that allow them to be around people where they can be predators. So only some photographers do become photographers so they can be around hot chicks and try and date all of them or try and get with all of them. It is not all photographers, but there is a red flag with the types of words they use, whether they're calling you gorgeous or whether they're calling you sexy. Sexy itself could even be okay depending on your comfort level with the photographer and what you're posing in. But most of the time, that itself is a red flag. Another thing that could be in the middle are fees and releases. So we talked about how your agency does have paid test shoots that they may send you to. So sometimes fees are involved, sometimes even the photographer is paying you. But the majority of the time, test shoots are free. Nobody should be hitting you up through DMs and saying, I want to test with you, and then giving you a price. That just shouldn't be happening. If they want to test with you, it should be a test that is free for both of you to be putting in your free work that you both deserve to get paid for, and you both are getting something out of it. And again, with releases, 9 times out of 10, there should be no release involved. If there is one, make sure you are thoroughly reading it and sending it to your rep if you have one. Before the shoot, a few weeks or a few days before, you want to get on the same page, set your boundaries, and then you want to practice and prep. So when we're talking about getting on the same page, that means setting those boundaries, exchanging mood boards. You want to discuss usage in writing, not just Instagram DMs, because the photographer or client can delete those Instagram messages on their end. So you want to make sure to get that in email or text message so it can't be deleted and you have it to refer to, and discuss things like hair and makeup and styling, even if they are doing it or you are doing it. If they are, you need to know like how to wash your hair, how many days dirty it should be. If you're doing it, you want to be on the same page so you can bring everything you need. When it comes to boundaries, again, put those in writing before the shoot. That is through email or text message. And you want to talk about things like your nudity boundaries, your posing boundaries, and your time boundaries. When I say posing, I mean posing with other models. I mean posing in certain sexual, provocative positions, those kinds of things. When we're specifically talking about nudity, the way you can say you do not want to do nudity is no, I am not comfortable shooting any amount of nudity. Or I am comfortable with implied topless only, no below the waist nudity, and no full nudity. Or you say, I am comfortable with full implied nudity, no scene nudity. So implied means you may be naked in real life, but we are going to hide it on camera. We are going to use certain angles, certain lighting, your hair, your limbs to hide that nudity. The key word is saying no to the things you don't want. So you see, I wrote no below the waist nudity and no full nudity. You want to make sure it is very clear. You keep those sentences small. It's not about feelings and making sure the photographer feels comfortable. It's about you feeling comfortable. So you want to just state these clearly in writing with the word no. And prep work. You want to practice posing in the mirror or in the camera with a timer and research some different posings. Look on Instagram, look at magazines, look on models.com, go to those magazines' websites, maybe harperbazaar.com, and figure out the different posing you're looking for. Maybe even make a little mood board or an album in your photo album so you can refer to that during the shoot. You want to practice your hair and makeup. If you're doing it yourself, practice a few times so you feel confident and you're not stressed out during the test shoot, and you can just focus on having a good test shoot. And if you have agents, you want to talk to your agents. Ask them what they need in your book so you can plan for that. Truthfully, you should be talking to your agents before you've even approached photographers, so you are approaching the right photographers who are shooting the things that they want. But at any point, you want to just make sure your agent is included in the conversation so you can get the photos you need and also so they can book you out. The day before the shoot, you want to pack, you want to prep the skin, the nails, the hair, the music, the snacks. You want to stretch. That is very important. And you want to confirm with the contact. So the photographer or whoever has set up the test shoot with you, maybe it's your agent, you want to confirm that it is still happening. Wardrobe. So you want to try on everything, take selfies in the mirror or with a timer, because then that way when you're at the shoot, you don't have to try it on to show them what it looks like. You can just show them a photo and be like, this is what this looks like on. This is what this looks like on. Because although they can imagine, things can look really different on a hanger versus a human body. It's why models have a job. So you want to take pictures of it. If you're already trying it on, you might as well just snap a little picture of it real quick. It doesn't have to be the best lighting. It's just so they can see what it looks like on your body. So when you get there, you don't have to try everything on. Then you want to repair anything that needs repairing if it's got holes or snags. And you want to steam or iron the clothing so it looks good for the photo shoot. Then you pack it all. So you could do a rolling luggage if you're bringing a lot of stuff like shoes, hair and makeup, and all of the other stuff. And you want to fold them really well so that they don't wrinkle the clothing. You could also do a backpack. Maybe if you're going to the beach or you're hiking up a mountain, you're not going to want to have to bring a rolling bag, and a backpack will be much easier for you to take on that shoot. Garment bags are also a great thing to invest in. They can keep the clothing wrinkle and stain free. And then that way, even if the hangers, the clothes fall off, like they're still in that bag, they're all contained. You're not going to drop anything on the floor, it's not going to get dirty. So it can be really helpful. Your set kit should include for your wardrobe things like safety pins, a lint roller, maybe a mini steamer if you're real extra about it, like I am, and some sponges or wipes to wipe off like deodorant marks, or if you get like a little crumb on there or something while you're snacking. Hair and makeup, you want to bring a mirror in case you don't have a mirror at the location. A lot of times you're going to test shoots in photographers' apartments, and a lot of times they're males who do not have a clean, nice apartment. So bring your own mirror. Nail files, very important always to not have snags. Body lotion, so you look good and your skin looks all healthy head to toe. And wipes and removers, so you can take off that body lotion or take off any makeup if there's any problems. Other things you can bring are things like your chargers, snacks, a speaker to play music with if they don't have one, a robe for in between changes or a robe like layer. I'm always cold, so I'm always wearing a coat. So I always wear coats that go all the way down to my knee because then they double as a robe at any job, at any casting, at any test shoot, and I don't have to carry something extra. And then some more extras are things like towels. If you're going to be working in the mountains and there's going to be dirt, maybe you want a towel so that way when you're changing shoes, you don't have to put your feet on the muddy ground or get like sticks or things in your feet. Or if you're posing at a pool and you're going to get wet, you could use a towel there. Slippers are good for in between changes, or if you're walking in between and you don't want to wear your heels. And sneakers are also great for that. Again, if you're hiking, you want some slip on kind of sneakers, and a first aid kit. Some playlists would also be good for you to prep. You do not have to do this, but I find that models who have their own playlist are able to get better poses and better photos because they're just feeling all the good vibes. You would want to make an energy upbeat kind of playlist that makes you feel confident, powerful, and energized. Also, have a chill one that makes you still feel strong and centered, but a lot more peaceful and calm. And a dance one that makes you want to move and just fills you with joy. Those are going to be on test shoots a lot where you're just doing all the movement and letting the photographer capture it. So having these playlists or at least ideas of songs and artists that you like and can suggest can really help you on set to get into your vibes. Things you want to leave at home are designer and valuable belongings. They can get hurt, lost, or stolen on sets. So maybe consider leaving those things at home. Also, friends, partners, families, and pets. Unless you know the photographer and you are really chill with them and they say bring your friend, don't just show up with a bunch of friends. If you do feel unsafe and you're wanting to bring a partner because you don't know this photographer, you can always talk about that beforehand, but don't just show up with people unannounced. And same goes for the family and the pets. The family is really a lot more about your confidence. Some people will bring their family, but then they get really shy in front of their family, or they can't open up and they can't get into their posing. So that can affect your performance. And with pets, you may not be able to take care of the pet while you're posing. You are doing a job here, even though it may be an unpaid job. Test shoot is still work, and you don't want to bring distractions. Of course, remember your basic etiquette. Bring your book and cards, arrive early, smile, bring some information on ID. You may still be going through security, and communicate. When you are at this test shoot, you want to communicate the goals and plan again at the beginning of the test shoot. So you make sure you both are still on the same page. You haven't forgotten, the photographer hasn't forgotten, and you actually get everything. You want to save things that are wet or dirty for last. So if you're going to get your hair wet, or if you're going to get in the pool, or if you're going to get a bunch of mud, then you want to save those things for the end because it can really take a lot of time to undo those things for the next shot. You want to add makeup as you go and darken it as you go because, again, it is easier to start with a blank slate than it is to undo everything. Taking off makeup is going to make your skin irritated and red. It's not going to look so great in the shoot. You want to keep all your belongings in one location. This will avoid you getting overwhelmed. It will avoid you leaving behind and losing items. And it will just help you to stay organized in this random location wherever you are shooting. You want to also go with the flow. Don't stress too much. Test shoots can go a little bit off of the plan, but you will still great photos and get lots of stuff that you can use. And make sure you hydrate and snack throughout the shoot. It can get a little crazy, and all of a sudden you blink and 3 hours have gone by and you haven't even taken a drink of water. So make sure you are hydrating and snacking throughout the shoot. Trying on clothing, even if this is your own clothing, you want to carefully pull it over your head to avoid makeup or skincare transfer onto the clothing. You're about to shoot. We don't want to see a bunch of makeup on your clothes. Take your time zipping and buttoning to avoid snagging the fabric. Again, you're about to shoot. We don't want to deal with you being stuck in a dress or not being able to get it zipped up all the way. But when accidents happen, we just figure a way to work it out. We use certain angles. Maybe you clip it together with a photo clip. You figure it out. Ask for help if you need it, and hang up or fold your clothing after. Don't make a big mess. Don't throw your stuff on the floor. You worked really hard for it. You spent hours of your life to make the money to buy the clothes. Don't let it get ruined on the floor. And also, you may go back and shoot something you've already shot. Maybe you end up at the end of the photo shoot pulling out a new background and you're like, oh, wait, that first outfit would have looked better on this background. And so now you're going to shoot that first outfit again. Sometimes test shoots go again off the plan. So that's why you should hang up and fold that clothing rather than just let it get messy and wrinkly. To keep your energy up during that photo shoot, you want to do things like maybe walk around for a few minutes. If you've been sitting waiting, maybe there's multiple models at the shoot. You want to walk around and not get sleepy. You want to stretch, get that blood flowing, and let your body get loose so you can get into all of these different fun poses and you can look very elegant and flowy rather than stiff. You want to stay hydrated. It really matters. It's not just about drinking water because the doctor says to. It makes your skin look better. It makes you glow better. It makes your energy better. It makes your digestion better. Water is good for you. Please stay hydrated. Also, get some sunlight. If you're sitting in a dark room and you're waiting for your turn, you're going to get sleepy and you're not really going to be on point. So you want to make sure you can get a little sunlight. Listen to some upbeat music, maybe put your headphones in, or if you have control over the speaker, play some fun music to get everybody going, and eat healthy snacks regularly. After the shoot, you want to be patient and allow time for the photographer to upload and edit the photos. And you want to check in at set times without harassing the photographer. So if you have paid for that test shoot, you are allowed to check in quicker than any other test shoot, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe even 3. You'll probably have agreed on this before the test shoot, or you can ask them at the shoot how long they expect to get those photos to you and give you an estimate. And of course, be a little patient with this. They get busy, they get lots of bookings, so do you. Give them some time, but if you paid for it, you and the agency can expect that they will try and get them on deadline. If you have not paid for it, give them a couple weeks. They did this for free for you. They're doing editing for free for you, and they've got to go make money and pay their bills. So some days they don't have time to edit all the photos, and they probably took like 1,000 photos of you. So be a little patient with it, but you can check up and just simply say something like, hey, just checking in. How are the photos going? And they'll give you an update. Some photographers never give you the photos. It happens rarely. Usage. Be sure to tag the photographer and any other members of the crew when you are using that photo on your social medias. Only use the photos in ways agreed to by everyone in the crew. Most of the time, we don't sign releases because we all have an understanding in this industry that we will not try and screw each other over with the photos. So don't do that. Don't try and sell the photos. If they said don't post them till next month, don't post them yet because they may be trying to submit them to get them in an editorial. So you just want to make sure that you are all on the same page about the usage and when you are going to be using them. If you don't like the photos, it happens sometimes. If it's a paid shoot, then maybe ask your agency about getting a refund or doing it again. But most of the time it's not going to be a paid shoot and you might just not like the photos. Sometimes you don't click and you don't get the photos. Just don't use them. That's it. Just literally don't use them and move on with your life. Do not attack the photographer, even if they are the most hideous photos you have ever seen in your life. You don't need to yell. You don't need to attack them. You don't need to put them down. You just simply don't work with that photographer again. Ask them not to tag you. If they're really hideous and you think that they're going to hurt your career, you can untag yourself or ask them not to tag you. You can share feedback if they ask, but try and keep it as professional and constructive as possible. I've had a few photographers who I shot with. I hated the photos. They asked me, why aren't you using the photos? And I simply said, I don't feel that I look good in the photos and I don't feel like they will help my book. And I just kept it very simple. I didn't attack their photography or their skills. You don't need to do that. Releases. I have never signed a release at any test shoot that I can ever remember. I was asked once and said no, and then canceled the shoot after I read it because it was just a really horrible contract. If you are going to sign a release, you want to make sure it's super simple, it's in plain language that you can understand, and it benefits you both equally. Otherwise, don't do it. It's okay to not do test shoots. I know you may have gotten excited. Maybe even the photographer is famous. And so you were really looking forward to it, but now they want you to sign a release or they want to cross your boundaries and have you pose nude. It's okay to just say, you know what, this isn't the shoot for me and move on. There will be more opportunities. And that is everything for your test shoot etiquette. If you feel I have missed anything or you have any questions, please comment below. And I would love to hear if any of this has worked for you. If you've gone to a test shoot and this helped you, if you feel like I missed something, you want me to add it, just email me. Or like I said, comment below. If you would like to share on social, please use the hashtag Modelesque Mindset. And as always, if you'd like to book a one-on-one, the link is provided.